This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is brought to you by Starboy's Juices. Infusing fruits with sea moss in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Refreshing and nutritious. Call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking your time out to watch this video in particular. But let me give you an update on a channel called Sport City. Yes, Sport City. It is a channel dedicated to everything related to Jamaican sports. Football, cricket, athletics, netball, rugby league, rugby union, tennis, lacrosse, swimming, you name it, we got it on Sport City. And what is the channel designed to do? It is designed to highlight Jamaican talents across all of those sporting disciplines. If you're a Jamaican and you're playing that sport, then we got you covered on Sport City. So it's quite simple, guys. Hit the subscribe button to Sport City right now. Good evening, everybody. Everybody doing okay? I hope you all are doing well. I'm Simon Preston and welcome to Reggae Boys Commentary. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for taking the time out to watch this video in particular. If you guys haven't already, please hit the like button, and after you hit the like button, you hit the subscribe button. All right, guys? Right away, hit the like button, and after you hit the like button, you hit the subscribe button, okay? Cool. So with that being said now, guys, after you've hit the like and also the subscribe button as well, let's go through what this video is about in particular. But prior to that, look at the comments. Echo says, what's happening here? Virgin Williams says, Simon, you're late. Sherrod Hall says, what's happening, Simon? I'm doing all right. How are you? How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. John Paul says, bless up, Simon. Bless up. How are you doing? Shamar Gordon says, up, Mr. P. Up, Shamar. All is well. And Jade Green says, bless up, Simon. Bless up, Grade. Jade. All is well? Well, I certainly hope that you are. So with all of that being said now, let's get right into the matter. Austria, right? What does Jamaica and Austria have in common? Well, did you know that there's 5 teams? I should say 4 teams. 4 teams in addition to Jamaica that will be looking to get to the 2026 World Cup with their last appearance, which was in 1998. Yeah, that's really the case there. Tennessee Lewis says, blessings, Simon. Blessings. Hope you're doing well. Detonation, not bad. So yeah, guys, did you know that there's 4 teams in addition to Jamaica that will be looking to get to the 2026 World Cup, and their last appearance at the World Cup was 1998? Yeah, let's start with a few. Norway, their last World Cup was 1998. Scotland, their last World Cup was 1998. Austria, and that's right, Bulgaria. So those teams in particular, their last World Cup appearance was 1998. Now, as we know, June 15 and June 19, right? Thursday, June 15 and Monday, June 19. Those are the 2 friendlies for Jamaica. In relation to the start time against Qatar, The start time is still to be revealed. But in relation to the Jamaica versus Jordan game on Monday, June 19, that's a 7 a.m. Jamaica time kickoff start, which is around 2 o'clock local time. That's basically what we're looking at from that sort of standpoint. Charlotte Hall says, I'm doing great. Can't wait for the Gold Cup. Yeah, it's going to be a great experience, isn't it? So you might say, okay, guys, Austria. Where is Austria? All right. So you guys know very well that this, what people might call a dot on the map, is Jamaica. Where's Austria? Austria is over here on this part of the globe. That's right. Austria is right here. This is Austria. This country right here is Austria. This is Vienna, right over here. This is Vienna. And this is basically the stadium where Jamaica will play the two friendly international, the Verna Stadion. New Stad. Right here. So where Jamaica will play those two games. And this vicinity right here. This is the vicinity where Jamaica will play those two games in particular. All right? Good. So now that we have that sorted, let's continue right into the discussion, shall we? God bless you. It says, bless up, Sir Simon. Bless up. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Kariks, how are you doing? All is well? Are you referring to the Gold Cup squad? No, the Gold Cup squad is not going to be revealed as yet. The Gold Cup squad is some 24 to 48 hours before the clash against the United States. So the Gold Cup squad, not at this point in time. Not at this point in time. And you might, guys are saying, looking ahead now in relation to the other fixtures that lie ahead. So let's put that on your screen so you guys can know the times of games as well, so you can make your mental checks as well. So what you're seeing on your screen now, guys, is Jamaican time for matches, okay? Jamaican time. So if you look at the game Jamaica against Qatar, the time still to be worked out. Jamaica against Jordan, it's going to be 7 a.m. Jamaica time. The United States against Jamaica, the first game of the Gold Cup, June 24, that's 8:30 p.m. Jamaica time, right? That's 8:30 p.m. Jamaica time, all right? And just so that you guys are aware, the same time in Chicago is the same time as the time in Jamaica, all right? So that you guys are aware from that sort of standpoint. And it's 6:50 in Jamaica right now. It's also 6:50 in St. Louis, Missouri as well. So if you look at the time, Jamaica against Nicaragua, 6:30, it'll also be 6:30 Jamaica time, 6:30 local time in Missouri as well. The CFU qualifier, whether that might be Curacao, whether that might be St. Kitts and Nevis, whether that might be French Guiana or St. Martin, it's 6 p.m. Jamaica time, but Santa Clara time is 2 hours behind Jamaica. So the match will actually commence at 4 o'clock in California. 4 o'clock in California, 6 o'clock in Jamaica. All right? 4 o'clock in California, 6 o'clock in Jamaica. So it's going to be a late afternoon kickoff, most likely with the sunset. So 4 o'clock kickoff. And that would essentially mean as well that the game would finish by 6 o'clock local time and around 8 o'clock Jamaica time. The quarterfinals in Cincinnati, Ohio. The semifinals, depending on where the Jamaica finishes in the group, either in Las Vegas or San Diego. And the final itself, as we know, will take place in, that's right, Inglewood, California. All right. Good. God bless you. It says, bless up, Sir Simon. Bless up. How are you doing? All is well? Hope you're doing good. In due course, that will all be revealed and made public. All in due course, that will be revealed for sure. So that everybody's up to speed with things. So everybody knows right here the times of fixtures so they can make their necessary plans and preparations. Now, let's talk a little bit about what our other opponents, other teams, what they are up to in this period of time in relation to their preparation leading into the Gold Cup in particular. What is it that they have up to their disposal? What is it that they're working on? Well, while Jamaica takes on Jordan and Qatar on June 15 and June 19, the United States, they'll face Mexico in Nevada on June 15, and June 18, they'll either play the third place playoff or the final, which either would mean Canada or Panama prior to the opening game of the Gold Cup. The United States plays on the 18th against Nevada, and of course, the first game on the Gold Cup is in Chicago. Jamaica plays against Jordan on the 19th and would get into Chicago maybe 72 hours before kickoff, 72 to 96 hours before. When you're bearing in mind that Jamaica's game is the 19th. You know? Nicaragua now, let's talk a little bit about them and what they have been doing as well. So Nicaragua, they're going to play 3 friendlies prior to the start of the Gold Cup itself. And we're going to look at that in particular so that you guys can be able to know what they are doing from that sort of standpoint. All right? Good. Mr. United, big up, man. Hope you guys are doing well. And if you guys haven't already, I encourage you to hit the like button. And after you hit the like button, to hit the subscribe button. And you guys know very well already what you need to do. If you have your particular opinion or question, you use a super chat or a super sticker feature so that it can be highlighted and so that you can receive a well-deserved shout out. All right. So this is something that would come your way. All right. Good. So that's something that you guys can prepare for and look forward to. All right. So yeah. Brian Bowen, I think we need to, as John Wall said, shift the thinking from using the word local and use domestic. So when you use local, it can confuse a lot of people. It can are you referring to Jamaican born players? Or are you referring to players that apply their trade in the Jamaica Premier League? So you see, it can cause confusion in different aspects. And that is why it's important to be specific. You know what I'm saying? Friendlies? Let's see, my friend. Alja, I do read comments. You know that already. Very much so. And, I've been, I go through comments. But as I said, you have to give it time. So, Nicaragua now, right? Nicaragua will play Panama on June 10. That's Saturday. Uruguay will play Nicaragua on June 14. And Nicaragua will play Paraguay on June 18. Quality friendly matches for them to prepare for. Panama, Uruguay, and Paraguay. And then a week later, they'll be playing the Caribbean playoff winner in Fort Lauderdale. I know many Jamaicans were hoping that there would have been a game in Fort Lauderdale at the DRVPNK Stadium. But don't worry, other opportunities will certainly come in the future for Jamaica. French Guiana. The Gold Cup qualifiers starts June 16, and it will run from June 16 to June 20. All right, June 16 to June 20. All right, June 16 to June 20. All right, good. Evening, Eddie. How are you doing? Well, absolutely. It is instrumental, tremendously instrumental. When you're bearing in mind what lies ahead, the two friendly internationals, and the week together that Coach Hallgrimsson will have with the team to be able to put the necessary pieces of the puzzle together, it is extremely important, extremely critical when you're bearing in mind everything to come to fore for the United States. Two friendly internationals, solid. Qatar and Jordan, teams strategically that are ample preparations for Jamaica. Why? Because the nature of how these teams play, it is going to force the Jamaicans to be patient when creating opportunities. And this can have a domino effect, positively speaking, of course, heading into the Gold Cup itself. Because when you have teams that might play with the low block or defend tirelessly, it is going to force the Jamaicans to use more guile, more panache, more creativity to be able to get the end product or to play that final ball. And you can expect that as well with the preparation of these games against Qatar and against Jordan to be able to replicate these specific qualities. It certainly will be a force of reminder heading into the Gold Cup itself. So if the United States does something similar, the Nicaraguans the same as well, and also the Caribbean qualifier, you know exactly what to do in such situation. Make sense? Yeah. Sean Sutherland, we saw the support Jamaica against Argentina. I was hours before kickoff being able to see the support at the Red Bull Arena. It was great, honestly, being able to see that support. Fantastic. And it's we know already the hotbeds, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, New York, Atlanta. We know the hotbeds. Anything East Coast, Jamaicans have that on lockdown. There's a decent Jamaican community in Chicago as well. So for me, I feel that it's extremely imperative as well that they make their presence felt as well come June 24. So that's imperative. Extremely imperative. Tomorrow, Mikel Antonio takes to the fore, and Mikel Antonio will be in the final of the UEFA Europa Conference League. History could be made tomorrow where a Jamaican could win a European Cup for the first time since Frank Sinclair. That's right. Frank Sinclair was the last Jamaican international to be able to win a European trophy, and that was the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup in the 1997-1998 season. Frank Sinclair won other trophies throughout his career as well. He won an FA Cup, he won a League Cup twice, one at Chelsea and one at Leicester City as well. So he has won trophies throughout the course of his career. And we're proud of him. And to see him as well to go on Twitter and to be able to praise Darren Moore. He said this, proud of what the big man Darren Moore has achieved this season under major outside pressure. The humility he has shown through the abuse and the belief in his players has, when written off, has been incredible. And that is from Frank Sinclair towards Darren Moore. Compelling, isn't it? Very much so. You know? Tevin Campbell says if Jamaica beats USA, Jamaica is going to win the Gold Cup. It's a strong stamp of authority to be able to do that. And personally, I believe it would get CONCACAF speaking. the Mexicas, the Costa Ricas of this world, but looking on and seeing what Jamaica has done. Let's top the group. And just a reminder as well before I take the comments, reminder of the permutations for you guys. Let me remind you of the permutations, because remember, if Jamaica tops the group, right? If Jamaica tops Group A, they will face the runner-up of Group D. Group D, as it stands, looks like this: Canada, Guatemala, Cuba, and one of I'll explain. Guyana or Grenada. So that's what we're looking at. All right. So that's the situation. You guys get the drift? You guys understand the permutations? Jamaica, though, finishes second in Group A. Then Jamaica would face the winner of Group D. It could be Canada. So, in relation to the quarterfinals, if Jamaica are runners-up of Group A, then it would mean Canada most likely in the quarterfinals. If Jamaica tops the group, then it could be Cuba, could be Guatemala within the next round. Tyrone Williams says, bless up, man. Hope you're doing good. Devon Porter says, enough Jamaicans in California. You're absolutely right as well, Devon. You're absolutely right. There's Jamaicans in Texas as well. You're right. California. Jamaicans in Las Vegas as well. I think I have the numbers in relation to Jamaica's potential in relation to games, 20,000 Jamaicans in Chicago, 4,000 Jamaicans in Missouri, 36,000 Jamaicans in the state of California, 10,000 Jamaicans in Ohio, 6,000 Jamaicans in Las Vegas. So, in relation to the games, Jamaica going all the way in the tournament. Those are the numbers that we're looking at from this sort of perspective. I know that Jamalo has one more year left on his contract at Bournemouth. Personally, what I believe will happen is that he will report to preseason, and during preseason he'll be assessed. And after preseason, a decision will be made whether he is to be sold or sent out on loan, or he's kept on the squad. I think it wouldn't harm Bournemouth to keep him. I'm sure Bournemouth, would want to target a much higher finish within the Premier League, and having the additional depth would certainly assist Bournemouth throughout the course of this season in particular. I'm confident that they're looking at themselves and saying to themselves, okay, we finished 15th this season. Okay, next season, let's strive for top 10. Let's strive for top 10. That's something that perhaps that they'll be saying to themselves quite frequently. It's a possibility, a grand possibility. It could happen. It could. I'm sure Ryan Fredericks, he'll be looking at this opportunity with open arms as well. I know many people are saying Ryan Fredericks, he's eligible to represent Guyana, just like Nathan Mariah Welsh, who is also at Bournemouth but went out on loan at Newport County quite recently. Golden, it's difficult to say at this point in time, because remember, first thing first, you can't count your chicks before they're hatched. And secondly, in relation to this matter in particular, you have to wait until you can say, okay, this is the 23, or this is the Yeah, the 23 for the Gold Cup. Well, remember, he when he went to FC Nantes, he was there on loan, right? So he's actually returned to Toulouse. And remember, the contract that he signed with Toulouse is was a long-term deal. In fact, the current contract that he has with Toulouse is until the summer of 2024, right? So he has one more year left on his contract at Toulouse. Will they play him next season? I don't know. But it might mean another loan spell, or that he might be signing for another team. Well, that's the situation. Oh, he went to Niort in the second tier, scored one goal, played a handful of appearances. He needs to be in an environment where he's playing regularly. That's going to be imperative. Tevin, you have different factors for different decisions that are being made. So when you bear in mind the situation of having friendlies in Austria, you have to look at it that it is an ideal situation. Jamaica is getting two quality games and will be using world-class facilities in Austria to aid the preparation for the Gold Cup. A fabulous hotel and a wonderful, 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 wonderful surface for playing football. And Jamaica will be in their own bubble, in a sense, not in a COVID standpoint, but bubble in a sense of that exclusivity of being able to plan and prepare for the weeks that lie ahead. Yeah, Sean, I know New York stands tall. New York stands out in terms of the states, and they are far, far, far ahead out of everybody else. New York has over 307,000 Jamaicans, Florida 304,000 Jamaicans, Georgia 67,000, New Jersey 67,000, Connecticut 56,000, Maryland 40,000, Pennsylvania 39,000, Texas 38,000, Massachusetts 36,000 Jamaicans, California 36,000 Jamaicans. And remember, we haven't even called other states as well. But yeah, those are the top 10 in terms of states with the top 10 Jamaican communities: New York, Florida, Georgia, New Jersey, Connecticut, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Texas, Massachusetts, California. I'm sure every man who is watching this video right now, every man or woman watching this video right now, knows a Jamaican or has a family member living in one of these states. I'm confident 100% of the people watching this video right now has a family member in one of these states or knows somebody living in one of these states. Completely confident about that. Yes, I have family in New York. Yes, I have family in Florida. Yes, I know people in Georgia. Yes, I know people in New Jersey. I know one of Jamaica's hidden gems lives in Connecticut. Maryland, I have family live there to this very day. Pennsylvania, yeah, Texas, I know people there as well. Massachusetts, and California. So yeah, what do you mean? Really have that on note? I don't understand what you mean. Yep, it's tournament football. You're absolutely right, Devon. You plan for 6 games, and you're right. In tournament football, there are numerous variables on display. So we should be telling ourselves that we're going to play 8 games over the next 6 weeks. And that's essentially what we should be telling ourselves, you know? I don't understand what you mean. Emails to get to the match? I don't understand. Another Jamaican player will make the move to EPL or Championship this summer. Interesting. Who would that be now? Who could that be? Come home. Eddie Guna, you're an Arsenal fan, so when you say come home, you mean Junior Flemings to Arsenal? Come on. Flemings on one side, Saka on the next side. Woohoo! Wouldn't that be something amazing? J. Ross says, up, Simon, up. In the last Gold Cup, he was the most fouled player. That is correct. In the last Gold Cup. I think for a portion of the qualifiers as well. That's something that has happened. Deal with him. He needs a Jamaican passport. That's what he needs. Malik Mills says, I live in DC. Yeah, DC. But Malik Mills, is DC a state? Or is it just the capital of the US? You know what I'm saying? Because if I had to ask you, which state is Washington, DC in? It's in Virginia, right? But yes, I know you have Jamaicans in DC, but DC isn't a state, if you understand what I mean. I mean, if I'm wrong, then you correct me, but that's what I understand. Yuri says, I'm in Boston. Look at that. You're in Boston. And one of Jamaica's defenders in women's lacrosse lives in Boston, Massachusetts, in Brittany Chin. And you think about Washington, D.C., two of our best players are there right now in university, the likes of Tamaya Edwards and Jada Williams as well. Quality. Drew Golden says, I'm in Philly now. Philadelphia, yeah. Andre Blake, Damian Lowe, Goran Murray. We can go on and on, really. That sort of angle. Miami full of Jamaicans. I've heard for some time people call Florida Kingston 21. I've heard that being used for quite some time. It's a narrative that I've used for some time, and it's true. As you land in Fort Lauderdale, for an example, personally, I feel that it just feels like home. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how I feel. So yeah. So that's where we are. Connecticut in the house. Connecticut, Jamaica's number one, Jamaican and Caribbean number one squash player, Chris Binney. Yep, he lives in Connecticut and trains in Connecticut. And he's Jamaica and the Caribbean's number one squash player, and he is the Lionel Messi of squash in the Caribbean. Really says, I used to live in New York, New Jersey, New York, Florida, now Boston. Okay. Okay. Oh, contact info meaning for all of the 36,000 Jamaicans in the state? I mean, if it was 36,000 footballers, then, it's something that I could achieve, but I wouldn't say that I have number for an example, a Jamaican that is studying at the University of Missouri, for an example. I wouldn't have that, but I understand the point that you're trying to make there. But yep, those are the numbers in relation to the situations of the Jamaicans within those states in particular. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say for you guys to be fully aware of the grand scheme of things, Did you guys know that 1% Canada's population Jamaican? Yeah. So you have 250,000 Jamaicans living in Ontario. You have 17,000 Jamaicans living in Alberta. Alberta is to the west, where you have Calgary and Edmonton. You have 14,000 Jamaicans in Quebec, majority in Montreal and Quebec City. You have 10,000 in British Columbia, most of them Langford and Vancouver. You have 4,500 Jamaicans in Manitoba. You have 2,250 Jamaicans in Saskatchewan, majority in Saskatoon or Regina. You have 2,000 Jamaicans in Nova Scotia. You have 750 Jamaicans in New Brunswick. You have 390 Jamaicans in Newfoundland and Labrador. You have 155 Jamaicans on Prince Edward Island. You have 120 Jamaicans in the Northwest Territories. You have 90 Jamaicans in Yukon, and you have 35 Jamaicans in Nunavut. And I know 5 Jamaicans in Nunavut. Yeah, the president of the Jamaica Lacrosse Association, he lives in Nunavut. His wife, his 3 children, so that's 5. Yeah. So I know 1/7 of the Jamaicans that live in the entire territory of Nunavut. But yeah. But that's the situation with Canada. Right now, there are 310,000 Jamaicans living in Canada. And when you put that into perspective, that's an entire Canada. But when you bear in mind New York, Jamaica is 308,000 people in New York. So New York almost has the same number of Jamaicans there as there is in the entire Canada. So it just goes to show what New York is. I think I'll have to do a video as to why New York in the future. Why is it that Jamaicans gravitated towards New York, Florida, Georgia? I mean, I can give an explanation to you guys as to why Jamaicans that went to England settled in London and Birmingham and Manchester and Yorkshire. I can give an explanation for that. Easily, I can give you an explanation for that and as to why you'd find the Jamaican players and players of Jamaican heritage surrounding clubs that are in London, that are in Birmingham, that are in Manchester, that are in Yorkshire. I'm more than happy to give that explanation as to why, especially in these communities, you have little pockets of Jamaicans in these sorts of areas. In the United States, we'll have to do a little bit of digging and research into these matters in particular. But I know for sure that New York, Florida, they've been homes for Jamaica since the 1950s, 1960s, thereabouts. That's what I know. I know that large numbers of Jamaicans were recruited to work in Panama and Costa Rica in the 1850s, and many went to the States after that. And what happened was in 1865, American planters imported temporary workers, and a term was given to these workers called swallow migrants to harvest crops on an annual basis. And the vast majority of these workers came from Jamaica. And between 1881 to the start of World War One, the United States recruited over 250,000 persons from the Caribbean, and the vast majority of them from Jamaica. And I remember, these were also recruited for the Panama Canal as well. And it's no surprise that Costa Rica, you have people with the surname Brown, Stevens, Edwards, and you go to even Mexico, Melvin Brown. You know what I'm saying? So that should give you a perspective on things. But yeah, Jamaicans have played a massive imprint on the United States as well. As you know, Jamaica has made a huge contribution towards the world. A massive contribution towards the world. Blue Hills in Connecticut, Lauderhill Lakes in Florida, Lauderhill, Miramar, South Floral Park, Lakeview, New York, North Lauderdale, just specific cities where you have these dynamics. And did you know which community has the most residents that are from Jamaica or of Jamaican heritage? Sunrise, Florida. 20% of all residents in Sunrise, Florida have Jamaican heritage. That means 1 out of every 5 persons living in Sunrise, Florida have Jamaican heritage or were born in Jamaica. And for me, that is absolutely fantastic. And think about the Jamaicans that have made an impact in the United States, especially those of Jamaican heritage. Colin Powell, Kamala Harris, and we could literally go on and on. Notorious B.I.G. We could go to academics, we could go to business, we could go to law with Maya Harris, we could go to musicians as well. Quite a number of them with Busta Rhymes, Big Tigger, Sean Kingston, Pete Rock, Spoke about politics a little bit. Sports, we could go on and on there. Patrick Chung, who represented the United States. Remember him? Corey Ballantyne. Yeah. Robin Fraser. Ben Gordon. Andrew Kennedy. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Yeah, it's a long list. Mighty, mighty long list. Not that I'm aware of, Dr. Hero. Not that I'm aware of. Okay, if DC is not in Virginia, then where is DC located? Because Washington, DC is not a state of the United States. So please do explain that narrative for me. I would greatly appreciate it. All right? So please explain that for me so that we can be able to understand things a little bit better. All right? So please explain that for me. I hope this is our year, my friend. I really hope it is. Well, Ekareeks, he's going to have to show his worth where he is. And then over time, the opportunity to be plying his trade elsewhere will open up. We see a district. Right, so it's not a state. So which state is DC in? DC would be in, if you're to type in right now, which state is DC in? Let's say, what would it be? You want to say it's not part of any state, then fine. A district, yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right there. Yep, you're 100% right there. 100% right there. Tyler Burry, 22-year-old midfielder, born and raised in Hillingdon, London. Well, Hillingdon. He's of Jamaican heritage. Started his career at AFC Wimbledon, now plying his trade at Millwall. He went on loan at Hartlepool in the 2021-2022 season, and he was named Millwall's Young Player of the Season as well for the 2021-2022 campaign as well. He played championship football last year and scored a goal in 23 appearances. So that's a little bit about Tyler Burry for you. It's a little insight. How many Jamaicans are in England? A million. A million. Over a million. Over a million. And we're including Jamaican born, we're including first generation, we're including second generation. Yeah. So, quite a number. And I'm going to provide the breakdown for you quite shortly. So you guys can understand it a bit more. So, you have 250,000 Jamaicans in London, about 100,000 in Birmingham and the West Midlands by extension, 20,000 in Bristol, you got 12,000 in Nottinghamshire, about the same in Manchester, 4,000 in Gloucester, about 5 to 10,000 in Leeds, 4,000 in Leicester, 5,000 in Sheffield, 1,000 in Preston, 2,000 in Liverpool. Other areas where you have Jamaican communities are Bath, Bedford, Bradford, Cardiff, Coventry, Derby, Doncaster, Huddersfield, Ipswich, Luton, Liskeard, Middlesbrough, Milton Keynes, Northampton, Swansea, Swindon, Truro, and Wolverhampton. Those are the areas across the United Kingdom where you have people basically that have Jamaican heritage or born there. Yep. It's an interesting one because for those individuals that were born, for an example, if you're born before August 6, 1962, right? You're born in colony of Jamaica. You weren't born in the sovereign state of Jamaica. You're born in colony of Jamaica. So those individuals that were born and moved to the UK prior to 1962 were automatically granted British citizenship. So I wonder if that today, for those individuals that didn't migrate to the UK, those individuals that were born before 1962, if they're still eligible because they were born when when England colonized Jamaica. Not that I'm aware of, my friend. I think both of them have the ability to be in Europe. Both of them. And I think it's nice head to head, and it's going to be a nice little ding dong battle when you're bearing in mind these two will go head to head for the Premier League crown on Sunday. 2026 World Cup. Can you imagine if Jamaica games play in Toronto? Yeah, I think based on the format, you might have one game in Toronto, one game in the next city, one game in the next city. But yeah, Devon, you're the best to speak about in relation to BMO Field in Toronto. BMO Field in Toronto has the ability to be able to bring and unite Jamaicans together, You could go to Whitby, you could go to Ajax, downtown Ajax, you could go to Eaton Centre in downtown Toronto. You'll find them everywhere. Scarborough, Brampton, Mississauga. Yeah. Just get out the Jamaicans and bring them to the game. What's funny, Echo Reeks, is that in Junior School Challenge quiz, I was the social studies person. So, in Junior School Challenge quiz, you have math, science, English language, and social studies. So I was a social studies person in School Challenge quiz. So I was a social studies person. I got social studies questions. Yeah. It's okay, my friend. It's okay. There's loads of Jamaicans in London. Basically, you go all around London, you see the Jamaicans. Most of them settled in Brixton. Majority settled in Brixton, but you got Jamaicans in Croydon. You got Jamaicans in Brixton, yeah. And you got Jamaicans in a place called Archway. Yeah, Archway. That's where Laurie Cunningham basically was raised. You go to West London now, and it's quite of an interesting one because in Ealing and in Southall, you've got the Asian community, the Indian community, but you also have the Jamaican community as well. So basically in that sort of area, you have a mixture of the Jamaican Caribbean community as well. Florida feels like home, to be honest. It does. Florida feels like little Jamaica. No doubt about it at all. That's how it feels. Numerous. I know London, my friend. I know exactly what you mean. New York is the capital of the world, and Jamaica love the limelight and city life, especially people from Kingston. Interesting. Marcus Garvey, Patrick Ewing, yeah. Business, yeah. Washington, D.C. is not a state. Washington is a state, but Washington, D.C. is not a state. Jamaica is the greatest place on earth. And just so you guys know, Jamaicans are found on every single corner of this globe except Antarctica. So there's at least one Jamaican in every country of the world, every continent of the globe, The only continent where you can't find a Jamaican is in Antarctica. That's the only place where you don't have any Jamaicans. But that could change in the future. Got it, got it. Big up to all the geography people in the chat. That's it. DC took land from Maryland and Virginia to build DC, but DC trying to become its own state. That's not right. I apologize for skipping your comment. It was not done purposely, my friend. My apologies. All right. DC is not a state, it's merely a district. Yeah, District of Columbia. Well said. Croydon, Peckham, yeah, Denmark Hill, Peckham, that's Marlon King's area. Brixton, you guys know Brixton already. Nyron Nosworthy, Anthony Stewart, a lot of Jamaicans as well. Camberwell, you're right. I think that's where Tommy Abraham came from, Camberwell. Yeah. Anthony Stewart. Yep. But he gave up an international football. Who was Rappy? Who was Wappy? What do you mean? Yeah, you're right. It is going to be a fun summer ahead. A very pulsating, exciting, riveting summer of football. I'm looking forward to it, and I know that you guys are as well. We should be. We should be all thrilled and pleased for what lies ahead. All right? Yes, guys. Let's talk about Corey Valentine, Green Bay Packers. He's 27. Mac Pearce, Giants. You know what I'm saying? But yep, that is the situation. And as we know, there's so many individuals that have gone on to represent England or Great Britain of Jamaican heritage. Where do we begin? Linford Christie, the first man to ever win the major 100-meter title in World Championships and the only British athlete to do so. Linford Christie was born in St. Andrew. Yeah, born and raised in St. Andrew. Linford Christie, 1992 100-meter gold medalist and also world champion the next year after that as well. Jessica Ennis Hill. Jessica Ennis Hill was born to a Jamaican father. That's right. Jessica Ennis Hill, born to a Jamaican father. Olympic gold in London 2012 and three-time world champion as well. All right? Good. Daniel Sturge, Mark Lewis Francis, Marlon Devonish, Lewis Smith, Dina Asher Smith. All right? Jason Gardner, Chris Eubank Jr., Lennox Lewis, David Hay, Dylan Waite, Clive Sullivan, Jason Robinson, Aaron Lennon, Darren Bent, Raheem Sterling, Theo Walcott, Daniel Sturge, Kyle Walker, John Barnes. We could go into other categories if you want as well. Running Rainford Brent. Mark Butcher. David Lawrence. Diane Abbott. And Diane Abbott, as you know, is related to Bobby Reed, I believe. I'll have to double check that one. But in relation to Bobby Reed, he has a family member that is actually in politics. I think that's his older sister, Marsha de Cordova. Marsha de Cordova. She's a politician, Labour Party in the UK. That's something, isn't it? But yeah, that's where we are. It's going to be a fun summer. Yes, I represented Hillel Academy in football, so I participated in the GISA under-19 competition. In 2008, I became the youngest player to play in the competition at 14 years old when I came on against Kingsway High School. However, 3 years later, that record was broken by Justin McMaster as he set a new record of being 13 years old. And to this day, Justin McMaster is the youngest to be in the competition at 13. So Justin McMaster broke my record there. I made 51 appearances within the competition itself. And it wasn't only football as well. I represented my school in swimming, won back-to-back swim champs, did basketball as well. So those were the three sports that I did for my school. In the same breath, I was a right arm off spinner at Melbourne Cricket Club. My mentors were Carlton Baugh Jr. and Marlon Samuels. So that's it. All being well, all of them. Yeah, Luton is in, I think, Bedfordshire. I think that's the borough that they're located, or county, Bedfordshire. I think that's the situation with Luton. You do have some Jamaicans in Luton, not a whole lot, but that's basically the dynamic of that area in particular. You know what I'm saying? So that basically gives you a little bit of context in there, you know? So there we are. So yeah. So that's where we are. So that's where we are, my team. You guys ready? You guys ready for the summer? Because it is going to be an exciting summer ahead. All right, guys, more content to come your way soon. If you guys haven't already, hit the like button. And after you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Okay, guys? Make sure. Well, remember, South Croy. I'm 6'5", so my sort of deliveries carried a bit of bounce. And especially if you're a diminutive batsman, you'd find it difficult to read in terms of the bounce in particular. And sometimes the bounce for diminutive batsmen can be difficult to navigate. So that is the reason why I would say that my bounce and my height gave me an advantage, similar to what it gave the likes of Suleiman Ben, the likes of Chris Gale, the likes of Amari Banks and company, So hopefully that understands that. All right. So that gives you everything from that sort of standpoint. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you guys haven't already, hit the like button. And after you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content. Okay, guys? More to come your way. Hit the like button now. Let's get to 100 likes. No. This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is brought to you by Starboy's Juices. Infusing fruits with sea moss in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Refreshing and nutritious. Call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking your time out to watch this video in particular. But let me give you an update on a channel called Sport City. Yes, Sport City. It is a channel dedicated to everything related to Jamaican sports. Football, cricket, athletics, netball, rugby league, rugby union, tennis, lacrosse, swimming, you name it, we got it on Sport City. And what is the channel designed to do? It is designed to highlight Jamaican talents across all of those sporting disciplines. If you're a Jamaican and you're playing that sport, then we got you covered on Sport City. So it's quite simple, guys. Hit the subscribe button to Sport City right now.